Chapter 6. When Josh came home Friday night, extremely tired, but smiling with the trophy in his hand. It was his 15,000 one since he was little. That night, he took the longest bath I had ever known him to take. Then he came in my room with some boxers and socks, made me rub icy hot all over his back and legs. That's when he told me about his track trip and his new girlfriend. We talked so much, we ended up going to sleep in my bed. Like when we were little, Mom took us pictures because she thought it was sweet. The next day, we went to church. You wouldn't believe Josh was a church-going person, except if you talked to him on Sunday. He learned how not to go to sleep. Just laugh at someone else. After service, everyone came up to our family. They told me and Ma how fortunate we are to have a brother/son in our family that should be so proud. We went out to lunch afterwards, and we went to an all-you-can-eat restaurant. My mom was glad she got her money's worth. Josh could put away some food, and when he was full, he just leaned to the side. When we got home, I started to study on Sunday, but unless there was a test, it was Josh's day off, so he called his friend and went over to Shakira's house. When he came back, he pushed me into the room and told me he had to talk to me. While he was screwing Shakira, his friend saw liquor in her living room and took it. He said his friend told him right before he dropped him off. As soon as I told Josh what he said to do, the phone rang. Josh picked it up because he was startled. He hung up with a depressed look, and I said I was really starting to like her. I asked what happened. Well, of course, that was Shakira. And she said, "I hate you. You stole from my house, and I don't ever want to speak to you again." He walked out with his head down. He was so hurt for a while. That was one of his favorite girls, and the few girls he actually really genuinely liked. They never really associated again, even though he tried. She never gave him the time of day. I could kind of understand, because if my boyfriend came in my house and brought a friend and he stole, I'd probably leave him too. But even with the explanation, I still leave. Now that track season was over, it was basketball season. It was tryouts, and one coach set his eye on Josh, knowing he could do anything, and told Josh to try out for basketball. So when Derek did, and there were so many people at the tryout, they had to make another one and cut a lot of people. I didn't go to the first tryout, but I went to the second. But in my opinion, Josh slept. That's probably why he never tried out. But somehow, he ended up making it. And funny how all the football players made it, and the people that weren't and were on the team last time didn't make it. Mom's next paycheck, she bought a basketball hoop, hooked it up to the front of the garage. After that, I don't remember when Josh and Derek had free time, but they weren't playing outside. A couple times, Josh had to stop because it gets so hot outside. It was Josh's first game, and Ma and I showed up. The school was full, and I took Ma around to the school again, and every time Ma comes, he always built something new or painted something around the school. They also have what everyone knows as the art hallway, because most recent art projects are up. Ma loves that. When we get back to the gym, we didn't have to worry about seats, because Josh saved us some right behind the team. Our school colors were silver and yellow. We had some ugly ass jerseys, but cute cheerleading outfits, so. We lost our first game, and the team was so depressed, but I think it was the coaches making them more mad. After the 2-hour game, Ma took Josh, Derek, and me out to a 24-hour restaurant. They had everything from chicken, pizza, hamburgers. Josh and Derek split 2 different pizzas. They had a fight for a piece. When we got home, Derek just spent the night. I don't know if it was me, but it seemed like Derek kept staring at me. Finally, one day, Josh asked me, what would I feel about going out on a date with Derek? I just said, I wouldn't think about it. To this day, I never mentioned it, and Derek never had bad feelings about it towards me. So one day in private, he came up to me and asked me, would I be his first? I said no. I said, because I'm a virgin and I don't want any other virgin. He walked off, still with his head held high, even though I wasn't. You could really say I was at the time. Anyway, Josh never found out, or I think he would have let me know about what Derek said. We had 2 more months in school, and even though Josh was still a freshman, he ruled the school like a senior. Josh was on the borderline of an A to a B, and determined to get that A. All his other grades were fine, in the A territory, and actually in math he was tutoring Derek. Derek couldn't grasp math enough, though he was still a sophomore and Josh a freshman. Josh still knew what he was doing. He could teach himself. Derek's birthday is on April 19th, and I believe it was on a Tuesday, and his birthday party was on a Saturday. Derek's mom ended up calling Josh to help with the invitations for the surprise party, and 2 weeks later, Josh willingly signed me up for decorations. It was in the unfinished basement of Derek's house. But really, I had to study for finals, and so they did a full year of work, and I'm supposed to remember what I learned at the beginning of the year. It was these days before Derek's birthday, and I lost count how many times he asked me what I was going to get him. I always said the same thing. I did. Your last birthday present. He always looked at me more curious after, but the decorations, I put them up the day of the party. In the mail, Derek got a letter from his last person he would think. His father. His father lives in Arizona. Derek never spoke of him until that day. He told Josh and I his father sent him a plane ticket to visit him the next day, and he would come back after his birthday in the morning. He turned it down. I asked him why. Then I could see tears forming and rolling down his face. He said, my dad was put in jail for raping a 14-year-old and getting her pregnant. My 4-year-old brother is from a 14-year-old. She says she didn't want it one day. So when she opened the door, she handed the baby to him. His father was taken away to local jail when he went to Arizona on a business trip. His mom said she didn't want his father or even to see him. When Derek turned down the ticket, he never spoke about that again. Every once in a while, I heard Derek saying he received another letter and put it in the box, but the other unread ones, Derek refuses to see his dad. Since our dad is dead, I don't understand why he wouldn't want to see him, because I can't even see mine. Josh and I both miss Pops. He was so kind and gentle, but we never talked about Dad to Derek or even around him.